One day, the doors opened, but nobody stepped out. The people felt caged, and the wild beasts roamed freely. We breathed, albeit felt stifled, with a gauze-like cover around our face. Ah, they call it a mask. It's a changed world order, but we don't give up. Soldiers of humanity, fighting every day. A minuscule unseen entity, however, united all humanity.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Poetic Heart, Connecting Humanity, centered very aptly on the theme, The Invincible Spirit. Future has always been uncertain, more now than ever. But what keeps us going? What keeps us walking towards the uncertain? I think it is our invincible spirit, the ever-hopeful human heart.
What a beautifully relevant theme this time around as we meet virtually. Sent to you a distinctive Poetic Heart 2021. Today's event marks the 10th edition of Poetic Heart and is organized by SGI Gulf in association with Emirates NBD and Amity University, Dubai.
10 years of witnessing creative poetic excellence through a different theme each year, all for a same goal, making our world a better place, poem by poem, while connecting hearts and bringing together poets from all over the world. Let us first take you through this video capturing Poetic Heart's journey of the decade gone by.
سسکی نامی و شلوک کدکه
که توده خاکستری
كم عزت من بالأنثى
لم يزل يصدح فيها
ما برحت لها رهينا.
I am very happy to welcome the whole nationality, music, a lot of people, and it makes, bridges between people, not in Asia, I think around the world.
Poetry is another means of telling a story from different perspective, and it develops the sense of empathy among the youth, and to look into the world from different perspective, as well as to have a deeper appreciation and understanding of the world as a whole.
This area celebrates poetry, literature, and peace as well. The leader of this city is a poet, and his son, Prince Hamdan, is also a poet, which shows how integrated poetry is into our fabric.
So I like to write a poem which can change a person, and he can, rehabilitate himself into a better person.
I think poetry is one of the biggest tools you can use.
It's a very nice event that gives the opportunity for kids to recite their poems that they wrote.
Forgetting that each time we breathe, we influence. That every one of us was made to live in congruence like the oceans and the land, preaching to unite for survival.
The kids came, the youngest students came, they gave their poetry, expressed themselves, and the encouragement they received, that's a booster.
honest for you to
هتذكرين
دي أكيد لي.
الدنيا يهديك كما شاء.
What an amazing journey it has been from the last 1 decade. Before we take this magical experience further, may we request Mr. Suresh, SGI Gulf Chairperson, to address us and share some words with us on this unique event.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys. Welcome to the 10th edition of the Poetic Heart, Connecting Humanity, a special edition. On behalf of SGI Gulf, it is my honor and privilege to welcome you to a unique poetry symposium. For over a decade, we have been advancing together on this wonderful journey by spreading the waves of hope and happiness for ourselves and for others. The Poetic Heart, an initiative of SGI Gulf, has grown tremendously under the support and guidance of renowned UAE poet Dr. Shiab Ghanem and the immense encouragement from Dr. Dashoku Ikeda, the president of Soka Gakkai International. From 2 students in 2013, we have nearly 50 participants from various educational institutions across the UAE. Our cherished segment dedicated to the students of determination continues to inspire all of us. We have served as a platform for nearly 100 eminent poets and musicians over the years. Our in-house chorus Naseem has performed in 3 different languages, showcasing their versatile talent. The objective of the Poetic Heart is to serve a bright source of hope and inspiration to the community through the poetry and music, and to share the core values of peace, culture, universal harmony. Over the years, the symposium endeavored to shine a light on several themes of social importance, such as peace, environment, mother, friendship, hope, tolerance, happiness, and determination. A fitting reflection of today's time, the theme for Poetic Heart 2021 is Invincible Spirit. Yes, it is invincible spirit. We have all witnessed the immense courage and sacrifice displayed by the humanity during this pandemic across the world. As Dr. Daishaku Ikeda said, the human spirit is the strongest force there is. As long as our spirit remains unbroken, there is no defeat. I would like to extend a warm welcome to our distinguished poets, performers, our young budding talents from across the Emirates and our audience worldwide. Poetry recitation will be in various languages based on the theme of invincible spirit, and I'm certain their words will enable us to form an heart-to-heart connection. We are grateful to our supporters and for all the efforts that has gone into making this event a digital reality. So congratulations to all the participants and a warm welcome once again to each of you. Wish you all a joyful time, this festival of poetry and music. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Suresh, for sharing this panoramic journey with us over the years. A gratifying journey that started in 2012 in Knowledge Village. Poetic Heart today is a thriving community of international poets, student poets, and musicians. It is our privilege to welcome you all to this very special edition, the 10th edition of the Poetic Heart.
On the occasion of the 10th edition of the Poetic Heart, it is with great privilege that SGI Gulf would like to share the message from Dr. Daisaku Ikeda, President, Soka Gakkai International. The Poetic Heart Connecting Humanity 2021. Please accept my sincere felicitations on the holding of the Poetic Heart Connecting Humanity in the beautiful and enchanting city of Dubai. I wish to express my deepest respect and appreciation to Dr. Shihab Ghanem for his many dedicated endeavors over the years. The precious exertions of our SGI Gulf friends have continued like ceaselessly flowing water throughout this time, so that this gathering of poets can now mark a full decade of history. With a vigorous energy like that of a rushing waterfall in a high mountain valley, the Poetic Heart has grown to include more world-renowned poets as well as many youthful student poets who are forging a new path to the future. This is an event where the true value of poetry as a treasured art of humankind truly shines. In it, I see a rainbow bridge of hope spanning the beautiful blue skies of Dubai. This year's theme is Invincible Spirit. It is my firm conviction that it is the Poetic Heart that calls forth this invincible spirit from within each of us and further has the wondrous power to connect people life to life across differences of language, ethnicity, and nationality. And it is my deep hope and confidence that the community of poetic hearts committed to the creation of value will continue to grow and swell like the mighty Ganges, nurturing the spiritual soil of humankind as it grows into a great sea of peace. February 11, 2021, Daisaku Ikeda, President, Soka Gakkai International. Thank you.
You know what makes a journey truly worthwhile? An advisor, a mentor, a guide who guides you in the right direction, who shares with you the experiences from his numerous arduous journeys through life.
Poetic Heart has had the privilege of having one of the most distinguished Emirati poets, Dr. Shihab Ghanem, as our advisor, mentor, guide,
and most valued patron at every step. Proud recipient of more than 30 awards, he has published 75 books in Arabic and English, including 19 books of Arabic verse and a collection of 30 translated verses, 13 of them from Arabic to English. Some of his poetry has also been translated into 19 languages. Based on his poems, there are more than 20 songs from various singers, including Sami Yusuf. The Poetic Heart is honored to welcome Dr. Shihab Ghanem.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. This is Shihab Ghanem speaking to you. I want to welcome you all to the Poetic Heart, which is the 10th year in succession. And we are so happy to be able to continue during the Corona via Zoom. And this is the first time we do it through Zoom. As you know, Poetic Heart is one of the most popular poetry music festivals, which was started 10 years ago in 2012 to promote values such as peace, love, harmony, love of mother, building bridges between cultures, determination, and so forth. These universal great values. And it started with poetry, then we added music sessions, and then we added the schools, the students from the schools, and added also launching of books, translation of poetry books, and we added the element of children with special needs who have been a great addition to this Poetic Heart. I welcome you all to this session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Ghanem. We are really blessed to have such wonderful words of encouragement from you. Every note is distinct, a different sound, a different texture, a different feel. A certain note trills from the heights, when another hums in the depths. But when paired together, they still make sense. They make sweet music. Why can't we render a melody with our different perspectives? Music is intrinsically meaningful to humanity and creates a sense of unity and harmony. Music brings joy. Music heals the pain. And music is food for the soul. Starting today's event on a musical note, we have SGI Gulf's chorus, Naseem, with their special rendition. Naseem has been performing, cutting the barriers of language and truly connecting hearts. Let's watch a short video of their journey through the decade.
The Poetic Heart 2021 welcomes SGI chorus Naseem. An initiative by SGI to contribute to the Poetic Heart event was born in 2014. Consisting of a group of volunteers who have trained themselves to sing in Japanese, English and Arabic. Every year, Naseem mesmerizes us with compositions that are melodious, captivating and beyond imagination. This year, Naseem will be performing Invincible Together, an SGI song to showcase the grit and bravery of the collective human spirit. The Poetic Heart is proud to welcome its very own chorus, Naseem.
While following the social distancing norms and putting technology to its fullest use, the Naseem Chorus Group has successfully managed to rehearse and put together this year's spectacular music performance for us, truly portraying their invincible spirit. Presenting to you, Invincible Forever.
The sun with the burning wow, dawning with new age here and now. As one, we rise anew, we rise anew. You and I together, invincible forever. It's now or never, invincible forever. You and I together, invincible forever. It's now or never, invincible forever. The world waits for a light of hope. They need a hand and strength to cope. I charge ahead, I hear the cries to guide the world that's filled with light. I carry on through every storm till hearts are healed and hearts are strong. I turn the winters into spring. United as one, the world will sing. You and I together, invincible forever. It's now or never, invincible forever. You and I together, invincible forever. It's now or never, invincible forever. Our new march has now begun. Maybe the change will be the one. To all the land our voice will bring. United as one, the world will sing. I hear the sun with the burning wow, dawning the new age here and now. As one, we rise anew, we rise anew. You and I together, invincible forever. It's now or never, invincible forever. You and I together, invincible forever. It's now or never, invincible forever.
Simply beautiful and so inspiring. Thank you, Naseem. The world waits for a light of hope. They need a hand and strength to cope. You and I together, invincible forever. So, Surbhi, what is poetry for you?
Poetry is literal work in which special intensity is given to the expression of feelings and ideas by the use of distinctive style and rhythm. Poetry, in literal terms, is an expression of the poet.
Not the definition of poetry, come on. I asked, what is poetry for you? Words put together in a rhyming meter? An excuse to flaunt flowery vocabulary? Or maybe a way to make a simple message complicated?
All right, Kritika. For me, poetry is the language of the soul. It is rebellious. It doesn't conform to conventions. It's always more than it seems. It's the past, present, and future residing together. Poetry is simply an anomaly.
Wow, that's amazingly put.
Thank you. Okay, your turn. What's poetry for you?
Poetry for me is a feeling, an emotion, or an experience of the poet which left an impression on them. It is often said that a painting is silent poetry and poetry is a talking picture. Let's experience this for ourselves through the wonderful poetry that we will be listening to today. We have our first distinguished poet, Mr. Wael Al-Saeg. Mr. Wael Al-Saeg is an Emirati poet, athlete, and a business owner. While his occupation and passion focus on martial arts and fitness, his heart lies in poetry, literature, art, and music. He owns his martial arts and fitness academy in Dubai, funded by the Sheikh Khalifa Fund for Enterprise Development and supported by the Mohammed bin Rashid Establishment for Young Business Leaders. He has done his Masters of Arts and is a graduate of the University of Glasgow, while writes his poetry primarily in English. Welcome, Mr. Wael Al-Saeg.
My silence speaks a truth, telling me I am born more than enough. My silence echoes clarity that the world we live in is collectively lost. My silence shouts reality that just as day cannot be without night, just as inhale cannot be without exhale, life cannot be without death. To embrace one is to embrace the other. To deny one is to deny all. Thank you. Are you in control? I'm really curious to know how much in control you actually think you are. When the fact of the matter is, your entire universe can be flipped upside down in less than a heartbeat. Your mountains of authority and security can float away like clouds. By all means, plan, forecast, anticipate, and secure and make provisions all you want. But at the end of the day, when push comes to shove, when the sun sets and the moon rises, you control nothing. Don't believe me? Okay. Stop breathing. Go ahead. I will wait. Stop your breathing for 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes. Or better yet, stop your heart from beating for 1 minute. Go ahead. I have all the time in the world. I've cleared my schedule just for you. Your ego may not like it. Your mind may not understand it, but you cannot deny it. The most intimate of things in your life are being done to you and through you. Real freedom is not in the absence of limits or doing what you want when you want, or how you want. It's the complete surrender to the power that breathes you at the bottom of the dark well of your life. Thank you. The expansion and contraction of my parents' chest is holier to me than many pilgrimages to Mecca. To see them smile, laugh, cry, and frown is to see the universe do the same. The ancients say we select our parents even before we are born. Though we carry their name and lineage, we are not their true children, but the children of the wind, bestowed upon them for safekeeping only. Cherish your parents, no matter what they did or did not do, for they are the vessel that carried you to who you are not, and in so doing have played their part. The rest, my friend, is now up to you. Thank you.
Mr. Wael Al-Saig, your poetry is truly inspirational. Thank you so much for encouraging us.
The talented and promising young minds inspire us, provide us with hope and encouragement to create a happier tomorrow.
It's a pleasure and an honor to have the representation today of young minds from 45 educational institutes across the UAE, including the determined ones. We extend a special welcome to students of schools across the Emirates. It has indeed been an absolutely invigorating and challenging experience, shifting through soulful creations of the budding poets for this special 10th edition of the Poetic Heart, and bringing to the forefront that hashtag invincible spirit, we have our first student poet, a singer, songwriter, and activist who loves music and poetry. Alfred, the head boy of his school, believes that all challenges can be overcome if we all stand together as one. His wonderful rendition, that life is full of hope, brings forth the spirit of the youth and their desire for a united world. Presenting Alfred Benny Joshua, grade 12, New Indian Model School, Dubai, with his poem, One Mind Dream.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Alfred Benny Joshua from New Indian Model School, Dubai. And it's an honor for me to be here in the midst of you all and represent my school for the 4th time in a row. This year has been a challenge for all of us, and I hope that my poem will give you light and will give you the source of inspiration to move on with life. It's called One Mind Dream, and it goes like this. Astray I laid in the ripples of my mind. Locked away, I couldn't feel my heartbeat. I trembled before the eyes of the world. Tried me like fire, but I was not going to accept defeat. Like the stars far away, we hoped to shine. Unwarned of the times, darkness conquered. Swept away by the tides of agony, we drowned. Sighed for hope, but our voices were left unheard. We covered our faces, not in shame, but in fear of our lives being robbed away. The oppressor may have had his feast, but we will take this no more, not ever, and surely not today. As I walked by the pastures, I crossed my heart, hoping to feel again, to feel love and not the suffering. But I ended up seeing empty footsteps down the lane. All this affliction just because we're human? Can't we put aside our differences? Together, we're invincible, beyond our imagination, From the ashes, we will soar up and put away the clutches. This is the time we rise and show what we are made of. Together, distant or nearby, we will together rise. The universe lit up with hopes of resilience throughout the mountains and all the way up to the skies. We're not broken. We're not worthless. We are the daisies adorned on Gaia's crown. This world can truly be detrimental, but if we stand by each other, we are never going down. Thank you.
If we stand by each other, we are never going down. What visionary poetry! Thank you for sharing that, Alfred. Moving forward, our next poet is an explorer and an organized mind with a passion for reading. Her poetry talks about the unconquerable spirit of human power and takes you through a journey from the start of human existence up to the modern-day robotic existence of the humans. Presenting Ashwati Radhakrishnan, Grade 8, Abu Dhabi Indian School, Murur, from Abu Dhabi, with her poem, The Invincible Spirit Connecting Humanity.
The Invincible Spirit Connecting Humanity. From winning a match to facing challenges face to face, the invincible power of humans have never failed. From Adam and Eve to the large community in which we live now, the curiosity to explore more has never quenched its thirst. We built buildings, we raised children, we brought in beauty and life to earth. We never stopped when problems arose. We always knew to smile at it. We are the creators. We are the masters. And nothing can stop us from being the supreme. We fought wars. We won trophies. We have learned to rise from fall. From the deserts we created green heavens. To a world of pessimists, we brought in optimism and peace. We are the invincible and we are the supreme. Thank you.
We are the invincible and we are the supreme. Thank you, Ashwati. Truly heart-touching words there. Our next student poet, Zaira, takes you on a journey between optimism and pessimism, and she believes that being positive in the pandemic is the way to bring out the invincible spirit in each one of us. Presenting the poet, Zaira Khan, from Greenwood International, with her poem, Beacon of Light.
My name is Zaira Khan from Greenwood International School. Today, I'll be reciting my poem titled Beacon of Light. Though things might seem dark, the light is on its way. During these tough times, we all have to stay. Things might seem difficult, but they'll get better soon. Corona won't stay long. It'll be gone by monsoon. As I look upwards, I'm greeted with murky skies. The gloom hangs over me, submissively threatening to take control. Finally, the hope of the bright sun shall manage to break through the gloom, while I ruminate of the good times ahead that shall evade from the radical uncertainty. While pessimism might cloud your brain, optimism begs for entry. Since optimism and pessimism can't stay together, they must part their ways. Nonetheless, you could decide whichever one to keep. The world shall have some fanciful offerings, taking all of us away from the recoiling despair. No more shall we be trapped in the same void, trying to hold us tight within its grasp. Surfaced out multitudes around the cemented city, invincible hope mirrors as the beacon of light, as millions strive to overcome their daily struggles amidst this pandemic, COVID-19. Thank you.
Beacon of Light A great title to a poem brimming with hope. That was wonderful. As an aspiring songwriter with dreams of becoming a game developer and an author, he believes that doing good for others will always return in a good way. His poem today reinstates his beliefs and explains how doing good for others is empowering leading humans into an invincible, unfazed state of mind. Presenting to you Aaron P. James Santiago from grade 12, the Philippine School, Dubai, with his poem Unfazed.
Unfazed by Aaron James P. Santiago. Immune, unfazed, invulnerable, even if things seem to be despicable. Strong, unbreakable, unshakable, even when things are out of control. Connected in union, working together, helping each other, enhancing our power. In trying times, looking after one another, not letting the lives around us wither. Strength, courage, connections, the things we gain from interactions with people who help us in tough situations, connections which build a strong fortification. And in these connections, we become invincible. As one, we are standing tall, indestructible, a structure that is observed to be reliable, something unity built, something that won't crumble. And as one, we all stand, fighting the issues plaguing our land, whether it is in grass, snow, or sand. In unity, we hold each other's hand. We are unfazed, facing our challenges. We are unfazed, jumping through hurdles. We are unfazed, helping those with struggles. We are unfazed, no matter the battles.
What a fabulous composition there, Aaron. Thank you. Like an artist uses their paint to portray their thoughts, she uses poetry to express her feelings and experiences of her life. She hopes her poems create awareness and a bond that connect people all over the world on a basis of a common emotion. Poetry has the power to change and reform. This poem titled Invincible Spirit is written to inspire others and explore the beauty of humanity. We are now presenting Paridhi Bhatia of grade 10 from GEMS Modern Academy.
Hello, I'm Paridhi Bhatia from GEMS Modern Academy, and my poem is titled The Invincible Spirit. He trotted on the sidewalk, tattered in torn rags hanging on his thin frame, leaning down like the Notre Dame with a body oh so frail. One might have thought misery would engulf him, enervate his spark of life, yet he walked with a heart of gold that exuberated exhilaration despite all his strife. Puzzled, you may ponder why, how such a miracle exists. Towers of gold that still keep men dismal, yet here his spirit kept him from falling down those sorrowful pits. He had learned to greet each person each day with a smile, one that stretched from ear to ear. He gave to others what gold couldn't, a warmth of joy against all worries and fears. Selfless and compassionate, he walked on the earth with a spirit like none, connecting humanity with warm drops of delectation that melted the walls of ice we had seemingly spun. His invincible spirit knew no gender or division. His mind knew no color or religion. For in his eyes, we all stood as one entity, bounded together by the spirit of humanity. As a team, we must rise, for if we fall together. Let us follow his benevolent footsteps, the ones that trotted there alone. For they truly led to magnificent worlds of euphoria, of unity and tranquility. But most importantly, of a connected humanity. Thank you.
With golden towers and Notre Dame, like I said, she would fit right in the Renaissance. Brilliant words, invoking unity and love. Yumna Iqbal is a student of Year 10 studying in the Winchester School, Jebel. Yumna views the world in so many different ways. She has diverse perspectives, and this has been her inspiration most of the time. She finds beauty in even the smallest of things, and her motto is that everything in this world, especially the underestimated things, deserve praise.
Hi everyone, I hope you all are doing well, and I'm Yumna Iqbal from the Winchester School, and today I'll be reciting my poem that revolves around the concept of the invincible spirit connecting humanity. Amid the darkness, that invincible spirit unites them. In the boundless doubts of humanity, drowning all their vanity. O invincible spirit, thy power is infinite, never to fail. To some, it is broken, to some, unspoken, but it is always close to them. O invincible spirit, thy power is immense, never to break. Beyond this questionable universe, like a synthetic truth, bitter to some, euphoric to others, ubiquitous here and there. O invincible spirit, thy power is dominating, never to be limited. Between the final lines of life and death, a mutual connection between all. O invincible spirit, thy power is united, consistently connecting humanity. Thank you.
What powerful words! Yumna's poem and her thoughts are an inspiration for humanity. Our next poet, Ms. Aisha Yulia Shevchenko, is the founder of the Mind Center in the UAE and a practicing multilingual international psychologist in the UAE, USA, Europe, and Russia. She's also a trainer on emotional intelligence and an orator at business forums. Her project, UAE Meditations, received a Social Contribution Award in 2019. She will be reciting Potential. Let us welcome Ms. Aisha Yulia Shevchenko.
A little boy was born in winter. He didn't know what was his name. He didn't know a little thing, but he was so brave. He was so brave. He went to search for things existed. He went to search for age of earth. He wasn't silent when something hurt him. He wasn't hiding a smile when got a toy. Though his world was interfered, his world was occupied with old and bigger people who saw it with different eyes. They put for him all borders. They told him to behave. They taught him fear and murder. They showed him another face. He got so broken, his spirit faded. He couldn't resist their royal fame. He silently obeyed their rules, hence joined a group of other fools, who laughed very limited times, who used to hide their feelings. They made their life look like lines of black and white colors, unless disappear. They never knew what could they become. If those old and bigger people would give them wings and believe they could fly, they can discover with what they are gifted. The world could become a certainly excellent place for joyful and happy well-being. With creative power in everyone's heart, they would finally call it a meaningful living. A little boy was born in winter. He didn't know what was his name. He didn't know a little thing, but he was so brave. He was so brave.
I assure your poetry is unique and beautiful. Thank you so much. Coming up next is Shrinika. Her passion is to write poems and stories using her freestyle creativity and imagination. Her poem today takes us through every conceivable obstacle a mind faces before it reaches its victorious, invincible space. Presenting Shrinika Gandasarakula, grade 8 student from Global Indian International School, Dubai, her poem titled The Spirit of Mine.
My palms paddled the deep blue seas behind, thrust and throttled till my body lost feels. Fear engulfs, there is no end, far beneath me, with soul second, budding eternity. My legs carried storm against me, eyes covered in white glaze, winds mimicking blades on skin, my heart frozen with despair. I bolted across the boiling sun, my head throbbing much, blood lacking my pale feet, asking for delicate touch. Slicing through the diamond wall, my will like a ray of light, shining through the dark night. The pint-sized powerhouse glow helped my esprit to grow. There at the edge of a cliff, almost crumbled, lay determination asking to flow. The feel lit my mind aglow, causing to discover the part of me, one that begs to be free. The brass-bound part of me, finally let free. This spirit of mine is invincible, indestructible, and unbreakable. This spirit of mine is divine. This spirit of mine made me shine.
What great depth of thought, Shrinika. Thank you so much for sharing. Up next, we have Ahmed Baltagi. A student of grade 10, Ahmed has a passion for poetry since the 4th grade. He mainly writes Arabic poetry on peace and unity. Today, he is presenting a poem that encourages Arab nations to unite and live in peace. Presenting Ahmed Baltagi from Al Mawakeb School in Al Garood.
The poem I wrote encourages Arab nations to unite to solve their problems and live in peace. Now I will recite my poem, حلم لا يموت. عربي أنا، عربي أنا وكلي فخر وكبرياء. كلنا واحد، كلنا واحد في اليسر وفي الضراء. نعيش في سلام وهناء، ويضحي الجندي بنفسه لنبقى أحياء. قد كانت فكرتك يا زايد تعطينا سخاء ورخاء، وحدت بلادا عربية ورفعت العلم الخفاق. فيه الأبيض يعني سلاما وتوحيد 7 إمارات. أنا أعيش في جهل وشقاء أم نخطو خطاك يا زايد فنحيا في اطمئنان. أنا أبكي على أطلال دمشق ونار بيروت أم نجتمع على حلم عربي لا يموت. شمس ساطعة تأتي من جديد، معها ورود الياسمين وأشجار التوت. أليس الاتحاد قوة والفرقة ضعف؟ فيدك بيدي نسمو للأمام، ووطني العروبة وعلم السلام. يرفرف عاليا فوق كل الأعلام. نموت وتحيا يا وطني، ونضحي ونضحي لتبقى دائما في أمان.
Thank you, Ahmed. That was very well written. Coming up next is Firdos Fatima, who believes that one should live without regretting the past and that the written word can be far more powerful than the spoken word. Inspired by her parents and the BTS band, her poem today brings forth her conviction that no matter what, life moves on. Presenting K. Firdos Fatma, grade 9, St. Joseph School, her poem titled Life Goes On.
My name is Firdos Fatima and I'm from class 9 and studying in St. Joseph School. The poem I'll be reciting is named as Life Goes On. The river is still, but the water flows on. The stars are still, but their light glows on. Moments may be still, but the time goes on. The earth may be still, but the life goes on. Yes, this is how my world looks right now. Yes, it looks a bit small somehow. This is where the flowers to my heart bloom. Wanna see, then fly to my room. Sometimes loneliness makes dull. Sometimes the answer seems to be null. It's fine sometimes if it's not going in your way. Just find a rainbow when the sky seems blue and gray. Feels like life has become a skit. Each one of us are the characters here. Let us make sure to make it a hit. Let us take it on a full gear. We feel the same in a different way. In our hearts, we all have goodness and empathy. There's something common no matter how far away. Our strength is telepathy. The world has fought many battles. Our warriors went through it all with ease. It's time we become a warrior as well and win over this disease. We share the strongest bond. Over each other, we are proudly fond. Till eternity, we all promise to stay.
Thank you, Fatima, for sharing such a beautiful poem with us. Our next student poet is from 8th grade, studying in the Indian International School. Her hobbies are drawing portraits and writing. Presenting Adore Mukherjee with her poem, The Invincible Spirit.
I am Adore Mukherjee. I study in 8th grade, the Indian International School, Dubai. The theme of my poem is The Invincible Spirit. I am the strong wave that washes away hurdles. I am the tireless wind that never gives up. I am the brave heart that fears no trouble. I am the uncaged bird that holds no bounds. I am the rising sun that lights up the unlit. I am the quiet laughter that makes no sound. I am the struggler who has retained his grip. I am the adventurous sailor who never tires to sail. I am the evening star that shines without fail. I am the unvanquishable spirit. Yes, I am the invincible spirit. Thank you.
Thank you, Adore. We loved your composition. Our next budding school poet, Nadha Minna, is currently studying in grade 10 in the Model School Abu Dhabi. She loves writing poems and study and stories. Today, she is sharing her poem, Hope of Love, that beautifully captures the significance of love, compassion, and hope in human life. Presenting Nadha Minna from the Model School Abu Dhabi.
Hi everyone, I'm Nada Minna from the Moral School Abu Dhabi. Today I'm standing before you to recite a poem that I have written about a girl who is so desperate for love. She tries anything and everything to be loved. But no matter how hard she tries, her wish for love is always neglected and she feels so lonely in this big wide world. But she never loses hope and believes that one day she will surely be loved. The name of my poem is Hope of Love. Every day I wake up with hope of love. I go to bed with the dream of saying, a care of you or a word of you would mean the world and more to me. My wish for love wasn't greed or bad. I wanted love to break my shell. I pushed my passion and desire for one, but the devil in my head kept singing for fun. The invincible power in me going crazy made me keep my faith in humanity. I wanted to breathe before I die. I wanted to run before I fall. I wanted to love before I break. But the depth of life was swallowing me alive, and I wished for a hand to pull me back. All I wished was the love of one, someone to tell me I'm doing so great, to wipe my tears and show me hope, the path of light I've always searched for. This feeling of loneliness is killing me. A few sweet words must feel so good. Thank you.
Thank you, Nada. That was a mesmerizing composition. Our next poet is 16 years old and currently attending Pristine Private School. She's fond of the Victorian style of writing, and Rudyard Kipling's poems have always enthralled her. She aspires to delve into literature of different periods in history to enrich her writing and perhaps compile her own compositions in the future. Presenting to you Jochebed Ficado with her poem Unconquerable Spirit.
Hello, my name is Jochebed Ficado, and my poem is called Unconquerable Spirit, and I'm currently attending at Pristine Private School. Unconquerable Spirit. Waiting for the train submissively, I looked around the vibrant world curiously, the platform drowning in the sea of people, each one of them invisible. A man hustles to the extreme to secure his dream. Inside their soul, beneath their profile, we meet their impeccable side. Burdened by their hectic schedule, yet never forgotten about the sparkle. Broken made beautiful, despite it being distasteful. A spirit filled with cheer, without any fear. Their infinite power never fails, always prepared to sail. In the end, there's always that perfect joy and charm, their loved ones waiting with an open arm. I ask myself, would it have been worthwhile to pursue this lifestyle?
What an impressive poem that was, full of longing, love, and compassion.
Before we take you further, we would like to share our heartfelt gratitude to the pillars of support, our sponsors. Year on year, our exponential growth wouldn't have been possible without the gracious and generous support of our valuable sponsors. Emirates NBD, Amity University Dubai, Thompson Music Institute, Melody Makers, EIBFS, Tiffany, PepsiCo, Coke, Nestle, Almarai, Masafi, Barakat, Akhtia Group, and Dubai International Academic City. Now, it's time to add some music to this amazing journey of the poetic heart. Music and rhythm find their way into the secret spaces of the soul.
Yes, it's now time for some beautiful music to fill up our souls. Coming up next, we have Mandira and Janira. Mandira is a student of the Sheffield Private School, Dubai. While topping the grade 8 Trinity College London examination in vocals, Mandira has also completed the Lambda Verse and Prose Gold Medal examination with distinction and London College of Music Piano Forte exams up to grade 7. She is currently completing music theory exams under the Trinity College London.
Mandira has achieved many accomplishments in her music career. She was the grand winner of the Dubai Singing Sensation in 2017 and a finalist at the Best of the Best singing competition organized by GEMS Education. as well as the finalist in the Wafi Superstars competition in 2017. She was also among the top 10 of the Little Star Show, a nationwide singing competition in Sri Lanka in 2009.
Mandira's younger brother, Janira, also a student at the Sheffield Private School in Dubai, has successfully completed the Grade 8 practical exam at the London College of Music in acoustic guitar with a high distinction. He has been an active sports personality with many achievements at school, as well as at the local sports club. Please join us in welcoming the sensational musical duo, Mandira and Janira.
Distant calling that only seems to get much stronger. And I know it's hard to see the one you come to lean on make his way far beyond the womb, but I can't stay. I won't stop running, I'm only getting closer to getting on the ground this time. Is calling, the wind is at my shoulders, only the chance pass me by. Mama, I'm bent to fly. I'm bent to fly. Before the yesterday, before the storm, before the innocence was lost, I promised I would stay forevermore. But every boy in time moves on. Your bones will heal someday, this I know, but I am restless and so torn. I can't stay here anymore. I won't stop running, I'm only getting closer to getting off the ground this time. The sky is calling, the wind is at my shoulders, only this chance pass me by. Mama, I'm bent to fly, I can feel it coming. Perfect storm is rising. Gotta say my last goodbye. Mama, I'm meant to fly. I won't stop running, I'm only getting closer. Won't get the sun to pass me by. The sky is calling, the wind is at my shoulders. Won't let this chance pass me by. Mama, I'm bent to fly, I can feel it coming. A perfect storm is rising. Gotta say my last goodbye.
Thank you for a scintillating yet soulful performance. What a year this has been, unprecedented in the modern history. New hashtags like #LockdownTwenty20.
This can just be called Hashtag 2020 or hashtag are you kidding me?
Okay, strong feelings there. There's another one called hashtag quarantine life.
Yeah, well, I used to ask people who always stayed at home to get a life. So I'm not really sure about that one.
You're not really a hashtag person, are you? Anyhow, another tag that got super popular was hashtag stay home, stay safe.
The one positive thing, Kritika, that the lockdown really did was to bring families together.
You're right. It gave them time away from their busy lives to slow down and spend quality time together.
Absolutely. Another hashtag there. Hashtag in this together.
That's my favorite one too. I saved it for the last.
It really brings forth the invincible spirit of humanity to get together during trying and testing times to support one another.
Well, the one thing that describes all our hashtags together is hashtag invincible spirit.
Well, why not make that hashtag a trend?
Yes, hashtag invincible spirit.
I love it.
I think our youth will love it too. Coming up next is Devananda, who is a dedicated nature lover. Her poem, A Starlight Innocence, beautifully describes how the invincible spirit of the natural world shines through with a ray of hope. Presenting to you Devananda Santosh, grade 9 student from Abu Dhabi Indian School, Al-Watba. Her poem titled A Starlight Innocence.
My name is Devananda, and I'm here from Addis Al-Watba to recite my poem, A Starlit Innocence. Its petals so old and grey with age, a touch to turn it withering away. They feared a demise that would turn us astray from no one but each other. They tried so unyieldingly to keep it alive, begging it wasn't merely a mirage, that it simply wouldn't fade away. They pleaded to stay, but they feared one day it would simply become another glittering lie that they told the youngest. They bathed it in the moonlight of their fortunes. They covered it in the silk of their violent victory. As they injected a morphine called hope, they started to lose the very same thing as they implored. But maybe some glimmering desires come true. Bathed in a lonely moonbeam gaze, a strand of silver starlit innocence, in actions as light as that of a peony. A child's soft golden fingers drum the hearts of the lost ones. A feeling awakened within the reddened souls. Maybe it's not all lost in the ripples of their lost breath. Maybe we are still bound by a light that shone a silent hue, and a soft twinkling prompt was all we needed to arise. Silent, gleaming, invincible spirit within all. Thank you.
Thank you, Devananda, for the beautiful poetry. We now have with us Yara Afreen Seji from grade 8 of Abu Dhabi Indian School, Branch 1, Al-Wadba. She's not only passionate about the things that she does, like poetry, but is also a nature lover and prefers spending more time outdoors. Today, she's presenting a poem in Arabic, which in English translates to Invincible Spirit Inside of Me. Presenting Yara Afreen Seji.
Hi, my name is Yara Afrin. I'm from Abu Dhabi Indian School, Al-Wadba. The name of my poem is Al-Ruh Allati La Tukhru Bi Dahili. كنت ذيبا واحدا في الغابة الأميقة المظلمة ماء البرية التي امتدت في روحي ليست لينة ولكن ليست فلزية. كنت متمردا موردا التسلسل الخرمية عرضة للألم مغبوس مثل الطائر. حطمني لقد حطموا آمالي قيدوني بسلاسل وتركوني لأموت في أعماق حفر الجحيم. لقد وجدت قطي من الذئاب والسرعان ما بدت أركض معه ليس بعيدا عن الخطر بل تجاهه. لقد وجدت أن الحقيقي مقاتل شجاع وقوي لكن الحبيب القوي لديه الشغف يغطي روحي مزيج قاتل. قلت للملوك أنا قادم لزازات النجوم لأخذ التاج وأحاتها. في أعماق شتاء وجدت سيفا لا يقهر في ذهن فتاة صغيرة
لقد وجدت محاربا لا يقهر. العاطفة في داخلي جعلتني أقوى. أرني من أنا. ربما هذا ما يسميه الناس الروح التي لا تقهر. لا أحد يستطيع أن يوقف الروح التي لا تقهر بداخلي. شكرا.
Thank you, Yara, for sharing such a passionate composition. He is a believer in the influence of poetry in bringing about a change in the development of our expressions. His poetry expresses this inspiration and a deep desire for an invincible spirit with an absence of incentives. Presenting Joseph Diareza from grade 10 Far Eastern Private School, Al-Shahba, with his poem Inspired to Desire.
My name is Joseph Araza, and I am from the Philippines, from Iligan City, and I'm currently studying at Far Eastern Private School at Al-Shaba. And today I'm going to be reciting my poem entitled Inspired to Desire. A determined soul, an unbreakable will, filled with courage and grit, your invincible spirit. Molded with a warm love, a character of fortitude, besieged in devotion, adorning one's zeal, inclined to spark an absence of incentive, with a motive of passion, indeed an invincible spirit. Thank you.
Thank you, Joseph. That was a very beautiful sentiment that you shared. Our next student poet is Shiver. He's currently studying in year 10 and is preparing to becoming an architect. Through his poem, Invincible Spirit, Shiver has very articulately described how the invincible spirit within all of us keeps us connected. Presenting Shiver Maharaj from Diafa International School, Abu Dhabi.
My name is Shivar Maharaj, and I go to Diafa International School, Abu Dhabi. The title of my poem is Invincible Spirit. To be invincible is to be strong, is to not give up when everything feels wrong. To be invincible is to stand tall and help others in need whenever they falter or fall. It's not something that's given. It's not something that's taught. It's something we are born with, whether we like it or not. It ties us together, this invisible link. It ties us together in more ways than you think, whether by humanity or humility, by our insanity, and even our personalities. In times of need, in times of distress, it's this link that helps us through all the chaos and mess. Our spirits remain strong, whether it be by a lot or a little. Our invincibility remains with us, and it's shown superficial. Thank you.
Whether by sheer humanity or humility, by our insanity and even our personalities, you have captured the varying levels of resilience and invincibility in each one of us very aptly, Shivar. Kudos on penning down your thoughts with such crispness and clarity. We now have an Year 9 student, Janvi Gupta, from GEMS Wellington International School, who aims to read 100 books this year along with her best friend. A pianist and a poet, Janvi will be exploring the theme of never giving up with a poem every day. Let's welcome Janvi Gupta.
My name is Janvi Gupta. I'm from GEMS Wellington International School, Dubai, and my poem's called Every Day. Every day, worries are never ending. Problems plague our time. Every day, something new taps on your shoulder, never going away. Yet, we wake up every day, believing today we will start new. Yet, we try every day, believing today we will come through. We think we are powerless, we think we are weak, But our greatest strength is our spirit, because we wake up every day. We persist, we believe, we hope. We find it hard to cope. Yet we wake up every day. Yet we continue to stay. We may look weak. We may look powerless. But our greatest strength is our spirit, because it's invincible, because it makes us wake up every single day. Thank you.
Our greatest strength is our spirit, because we wake up every day. Such profound thoughts, Janvi. We wish you all the very best for your planned readathon. Next, we have Lara Zaid Qasim, a 10th grade student of Al Mawaqib School, Al Barsha. Her hobbies are writing and reciting eloquent Arabic poetry, writing stories, and playing music. Lara has beautifully brought forth and amalgamated the term ambition as a tangible facet of the invincible spirit. Presenting Lara Zaid Qasim.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. اسمي لارا زيد قاسم. أنا في الصف العاشر. مدرستي مدرسة المواكب البرشا. هواياتي كتابة وإلقاء الشعر العربي الفصيح وكتابة القصص والعزف على آلة القانون. عمري 15 ربيعاً. سبب كتابتي لقصيدة الطموح منبع الحياة لأن الطموح برأيي هي الروح التي يعيش بها البشر، وهي روح لا تقهر ولا تكسر. والطموح هو الطريق للنجاح. الطموح هو الذي يقض مضجعك لتعمل وتفكر وتكتح ويطرد من جفنيك النوم. تقول القصيدة: سأحول ندباتي نجوما تزين السماء، وأرجو العلا بعزيمة جبارة علياء، وأنتظر الظلام ليتحول إلى ضياء، فطموحي لن يتوقف مهما ثقلت الأعباء. بالإرادة أحقق الأحلام وأعمر حتى الصحراء، وبالطموح أداوي الجروح ولا أحتاج إلى دواء. سأحقق الأهداف لأنتصر وتصبح الدنيا بهاء. بالطموح وبالإرادة أصل إلى حيث أشاء، أصل إلى العلياء إلى أعالي السماء، وأمسح الوجع والآه والبكاء والليالي الظلماء ولحظات الحزن والشقاء، ويصبح العالم ضياء وصفاء ونقاء. سأسبح عكس تيار الماء، فإرادتي قوية وقلبي يغمره الصفاء. رحلتي رحلة إصرار وإرادة وعطاء، نحتت بشغف وإباء، نحتت بشغف وإباء.
Thank you, Lara. This was truly inspiring. The world closed down, but never have we been closer.
I agree. Every day, I try to Google how the rest of the world is doing. Never before have I been so aware of the world.
I hear you, and I am proud of us. I mean, we have shown genuine concern for our fellow human beings around the world through this ordeal. It is the dawn of a new global era.
Beauty comes with different experiences, emotions, and expressions, pulsating towards peace with a humane spirit. And at this Poetic Heart, we give the whole world a platform to express by overcoming boundaries.
It couldn't have been more appropriately said. And you will experience it for yourself in our next poetry session as we listen to the renditions of one of the well-known poets. Let's hear it for Sheikha Al-Mutairi. Ms. Sheikha Al-Muteri is a widely renowned Arabic and international poet living in the UAE. She earned a degree in the Arabic language and its literature from the Islamic and Arabic College, a higher diploma in Arabic, and is currently studying for her master's degree at Tamar University. She works as head of National Heritage Department in Jamal Masjid for Culture and Heritage. She also forms part of a poetry panel on MBC's program titled Words Passion. Some of her poems have been translated into English, French, Spanish, and Russian languages. Today, she would be reciting Birth.
ويقلقني الموت لكن هذه الحياة تزيد القلق رغيفاً وحيداً ولدت على شفة الفقراء وعوداً بلا صاحب أو غناء أنا لحظة من شتاء قديم على باب صيف الأمان احترق أنا سكر أزرق لا ينام أنا ملح أعينكم يا نيام وحيداً سموت ولكن بلا عمد يا سماعي ولدت صباح المساكين لا أذكر الشهر لكنه كان صيفا ولا أذكر العام كل السنين تساقطن زيفا أمام حقيقة أن يثبت القادمون ولا يثبتون ولدت وكان البكاء يدور ويرقص حول القصيدة ولدت مساء المجانين وها كنت أولد في يومهم كل حين بلا قابلة بلا دفتر الشعر والعائلة ولدت وما زلت أولد ما زلت وحدي هنا الأسئلة.
Thank you for gracing our event with your presence this year as well, Ms. Sheikha. Your poems have always invigorated our hearts and minds. Before we proceed further in the event, our proud sponsors, Emirates NBD's commitment to people with disabilities supports the hashtag MyCommunity initiative launched by His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed Al Maktoum, Crown Prince of Dubai and Chairman of Dubai Executive Council, that aims to transform Dubai to a disability-friendly city. Under his flagship advocacy program, #Together Limitless, the bank has undertaken several initiatives in the past year to foster the sustainable long-term improvement and integration of people with disabilities into the community. Emirates NBD is committed to supporting a world where there are no barriers for people with disabilities to achieve the same dreams and potential as everyone. With immense gratitude in our hearts, we would like to introduce Emirates NBD through a video which highlights their commitment towards supporting the society and creating hope.
You're here for a reason. If you think you are not, I would just say that perhaps you forgot. A piece of the world that is precious and dear would surely be missing if you weren't here.
What beautiful lines by Nancy Tillman. Keeping in mind the message in these lines, we will take you through the most special section of today's event. Beautiful performances from the hearts of those who truly live their life driven by their invincible spirit in every sense. Let's salute and warmly welcome our determined ones with their soulful performances.
Anirvan is an 11-year-old boy and started learning piano when he was 7 at Tender Hearts Arena. He passed Trinity Grade 1 and he will take Grade 2 in January. He loves gadgets and has an inclination towards technology. We are thrilled to present his piano performance today, Anirvan from Tender Hearts Arena.
You are a star, Anirvan. Brilliant performance there. Thank you. Mohammed Chandra is a 16-year-old student studying at Manzil. Mohammed takes keen interest in drawing and animation. He enjoys expressing his vibrant imagination via his drawings. His forte is computers, and he is able to create stunning artwork in MS Paint and 3D drawings on the Lego software. He aspires to be a YouTuber or an animator in the future. Mohammed also enjoys public speaking, as it provides him with a great opportunity to articulate his thoughts and ideas with everyone. Presenting today the lovely poetry by Mohammed Chandra from the Manzil Center.
Hello everyone, my name is Mohammed Chandra. I'm from Manzil, and today I'll be reciting a poem by Terry Tree, Invincible. When everyone else has left, when every expectation is not met, when emptiness sets in and heartache finds a way to begin, you are there again and again. My internal life, the love of my life. Under every rock, every leaf I overturn, and every note I sing, every tear that I cry, every ripple that I swim, and you carry me. You are my eternity, my sacred home. I'm with you. Ooh, I am never alone, never alone. And even in the darkest alleyways, we find in the light. A light so bright, even in the darkest of all nights. Midnight, a black, pitch black. The cars are stacked against the atmosphere manipulated by the world. If but to curl up and fade away, No, not another day. The universe is so big, filled with friends I thought were friends. Yes, even when all friendship end, you do not leave my side. You do not run and hide. You still find a way to stand behind me, stand beside me. You are inside me. Watch me go. Watch me rage. Watch me glow. When everyone else has left, when every expectation is not met, when emptiness sets in and heartache finds a way to begin, you are there, the spirit in my soul. Oh, and again and again, my invincible. Under a bridge, in a closet filled with broken dreams, means between the cracks of misery, you are my eternity. My sacred home. I'm with you, spirit. You are with me, never alone, never alone. You are the strings of my heart's sympathy. You are the you are the drums that beats from my chest. You are the chords that echoed from my throat. You are the best. You are the tap dance that vibrates from my feet. Beneath me, the earth quakes into concrete. You are my armor. You are my umbrella. You are my wings. You are my antlers. You are the star of every evening that guides me and believes in me. Invincibility. The universe is so big, filled with friends I thought were friends. When all friendship end, you do not leave my side. You do not run and hide. You do. You still find a way to stand behind me, stand beside me. You are inside me. Watch me go. Watch me rise. Watch me glow. You are my invincible. Thank you.
Bravo, Mohammed Chandra. Your enthusiasm and energy can rub off to anybody. Thank you for reading us such a wonderful poem. Dinal is from Sri Lanka, a teenager with a pleasing personality. He loves visiting new places, meeting people, engaging in sports, doing art and craft projects, dancing, and exploring information about video games. He is keen to browse the internet and comes out with novel ideas and is curious to implement the same. He is a quick learner and uses multiple ways of learning new concepts. He attends vocational training sessions and follows all work-related instructions independently. Today, we are happy to present his poem. Please welcome Dinal Navindra Ekanaike from Al Noor Training Center.
Hi everyone, my name is Dinal. I'm 14 years old. I'm from Al Training Center. His poem name is from a Railway Carriage. Who created is Louis, Robert Louis Stevenson. Faster than fairies, faster than witches, bridges and houses, edges and ditches, and charging along like troops in the battle, or through the meadows, the horses and the cattle. All of the sides of the hill and the plain fly as thick as driving rain, and ever again the wink of an eye, painted station whistled by. Here is a child who clambers and scrambles all by himself, gathering brambles. Here is a tramp who stands and gazes. Here is a green for stringing the daisies. Here is a cart underway the road, lumping along with man and load. Here is a mill, and there is a river, each a glimpse and gone forever. Thank you.
That was so wonderfully done, Dinal. Kudos to your energy and strength. Our next poet is Zainab Nissan, a lovely 18-year-old from SNF Development Center. She loves to do art and craft, stitching, and is really good at dancing. She enjoys events and parties where she can participate in games and loves to hit the floor when the music is turned on. Reciting to us a beautiful poem, we present to you Zainab Nisan.
Good morning, I am Zainab Nisa from SNF Development Center. I am going to recite Positive Spirit, a poem written by our ruler is Anas Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. This universe is ever spinning, not stay still. It holds not for those lagging who have no will. From centuries past, its path has been woven, flowing with life and passionately driven. Vigorous work always us higher. He can change all matters that he do not desire. By firm resolve, our hopes materialize with the Almighty's mercy. Our wishes he realizes. A pursued spirit resides in our soul. It demands our attention and plays a strong role. Will is a great master. With our spirit it errates, empowering the soul. Our voice it echoes, fit against us to work hard and aspire from high beyond and events this is shall transpire. Thank you.
Thank you for that wonderful recitation, Zainab. Your poem spreads a glowing warmth in all our hearts. Now, let's welcome another very special participant based out of Dubai, who's a powerhouse of perseverance and inspiration. Vikram Kumar was written off as a severely cognitive challenged non-verbal autistic with over 200 seizures a day. 27 years later, the family persevered to try everything out there and finally packed their bags to spend 6 months in Atlanta to try a promising therapy called RPM, which enables communication through spelling. His communication that flowed stunned the family and moistened the eyes of his naysayers. His typing led to his expression that has been blessed with an affinity for verse to express what people of determination and others in his position are going through. His poems are his voice of determination as he looks for minuscule moments of candid laughter and enormous joy. Over to the poetry of a truly invincible warrior, Vikram Kumar, in the voice of his parents.
After 28 long years of deafening silence, Vikram has found his voice. He is the epitome of a fighter who does not give up. Like a migratory bird that takes off on its long voyage across oceans and nature's obstacles to continue to reach beyond the horizons. His poem, Dreams of Yonder, talks to that undying spirit, to address life's challenges, to achieve infinite possibilities, to keep on trying until we achieve. In his case, to be normal. For a boy in pain, fighting every step of the way, struggling to tame an uncooperative body, he has a message to never give up and keep working towards an inclusive future. His mom, Bobby, never gave up, and thanks to her unwavering spirit, he found his voice. Since Vikram does not speak yet, his mother Bobby will recite on Vikram's behalf.
Dreams of yonder, migratory leaps flank untiring, sight of horizons undaunted, strength of wings unfailing, goals of a journey undiscovered. Who but the fearless embark with unbridled passion, worrying fears unknown, eyes seeing opportunity in the dark, worryless nerves of steel beckon. Ambition, you cruel master, heeds not the spectre of failure. Forging ahead with dreams to conquer, befriend your pain in spasms of grandeur. Pray for winds uplifting, warmth and love of family unstinting, angels and demons around unheeding, infinite possibilities keep my feathers flapping. Poem by Vikram Kumar.
Thank you, Vikram. You have truly shown what invincible spirit means in action. Hats off to you.
Amity University Dubai campus is committed to nurture talent through world-class education and conduct research in line with the UAE's vision for the future. Based in Dubai International Academic City, Amity University Dubai campus is spread over 700,000 square feet area with world-class facilities. Amity universities are also spread across North America, UK, Europe, and Asia. The Dubai campus is licensed by Knowledge and Human Development Authority, Government of Dubai, and offers 45 undergraduate, postgraduate, PhD, and blended learning programs in line with the government's national agenda. From innovative programs such as nanotechnology, aerospace engineering, and forensic science to traditional courses like law, fashion design, journalism and mass communication, mechanical engineering, and applied psychology, Amity University Dubai has it all. Mr. Dev Chakraborty is an accomplished vocalist, composer, music coach, and talent groomer from Dubai, originally from Kolkata. Mr. Dev has had extensive training in Indian classical music from an early age under many notable music gurus across India. He has performed as a co-singer alongside many Bollywood singers and musicians. His wide range of live performances and recording sessions in semi-classical ghazal, Sufi, folk, and devotional genres of music are highly acclaimed by audiences throughout India and UAE. Dev has collaborated with the very eminent and celebrated poet of UAE, Dr. Shihab Ghanem, and has composed and directed music for his poems that were written on the love of UAE in Arabic.
A student of the Indian high school, Sucheta has the unique ability to sing in multiple languages. She is a recipient of Sheikh Hamdan Award for Academic Excellence and is also an excellent dancer as well as a Spell Bee champion. She sang in 102 languages, including 25 Indian and 77 foreign languages over 6 hours and 15 minutes in a concert titled Music Beyond Boundaries. Her first foreign language song was in Japanese. The record was adjudicated by the World Record Academy based in Miami, USA.
وسأحميك بصدري ويدي يا عبارات ترقي واصعدي بصدري ويدي يا عبارات ترقي واصعدي أنت وجه رائع للعربي مشرق في مشرق أو مغربي ينشر الخير لمن في نصبي أنت أهل للعلا والسدد وسأحميك بصدري ويدي يا عبارات ترقي واصعدي يا عبارات ترتقي نحو العلا ولتكوني في دجان الأملا تكرم العلم وتعلي العمل أنت أهل للعلا والسدد وسأحميك بصدري ويدي يا عبارات ترقي واصعدي يا عبارات ترقي واصعدي يا عبارات ترقي واصعدي.
Year after year, we have fallen in deeper love and appreciation of your art. Thank you so much, Sucheta, for this mesmerizing performance. This is indeed an exceptional platform that brings together poetry flowing from the young hearts and the experienced hands. We have once again our budding poets in action.
Let's now welcome Christina. Christina is in year 8 and has great interest in writing and poetry. And today, through her poem, Give Up or Give All, she paints a talking picture of how our own thoughts can save us from the darkness that surrounds us and the darkness that resides within us. Presenting Christina Matthews Kalathil from Gems Arun English High School, Alvarka.
Good afternoon. My name is Christina Matthews, and I study in our own English High School, Dubai. I am here to read my poem, Give Up or Give All. I walked down the cracked road. The raindrops raced on the track of my neck and back. My mind raced like a wildfire. The smoke filled my head from thinking straight. The clouds trapped the sun. Not even one of its gold, shimmering rays escaped the cage of darkness. I looked around the deserted shops. Not a soul wandered around. The sun broke into pieces, and each glittering ray fell into the sea. The world is cruel, bitter and cruel, filled with hate. The once orange-red sky tinged with a deep blue. The sky was bland and starless. The trees swayed with the wind. I sat down on the grass. Tiny droplets hung on to their tips. My mind was dazed, but raced ahead. To err is human. There is nothing we can do. But we can decide to sit in despair or rise and shine anew. I got up from the patch of grass. My hair stands flew with the wind. The night fell in defeat, and the sun rose up. No matter what others do, stand tall. We belong to the same kin. The light is the true hope. The darkness came to distract. So what are you going to do? Slump under the raindrops and let darkness reign over you? Or walk under the golden rays of the sun, letting light to rule. Know that darkness is permanent unless you decide it not to be. No one has more power than you to decide what's ahead of you. Treasure hope in you like the most valuable of jewels. Nothing can stop you. You will be invincible. Thank you.
Thank you, Christina, for sharing your poetry with such great universal message. Our next student poet is Harshita Praful Dasani. Through her poem, Her Life Was No Paradise, she aptly explores the journey of Mother Earth and her unconquerable yet compassionate spirit. Presenting Harshita Praful Dasani, a grade 12 student from JSS International School, Dubai.
Hi, my name is Harshita Dasani and I come from JSS International School. The title of my poem is Her Life Was No Paradise. She was bred of a shell, not to live in hell. Dawn of the first yellow ray, by the blue river bay. Birth of a tender gentle girl, abore a heart as pure as pearl. So perfect were those green-brown hair, her skin so candid and fair, eyes deep dark blue, and cheeks with a certain hue. Born with the freshness of compassion, little did she believe in gold ration. So tender was her innocent voice, she was once the reason of our rejoice. Mortal men then walked into her life, requesting her to keep them alive. Her aura, being embellished with gold and silver, could not let those men sleep lonely by the river. She gave them shade and shelter, but was only made to welter. Soon they stabbed her with a knife, confining the flora of her life. Her eyes from deep dark blue, seeded to black gloomy dew. Those skittish brown-green hair have now lost all their flair. She still hasn't surrendered before this world so self-centered. Had we been sensible, would have realized she is invincible. The good, the bad, both have perished, amidst her fury left unleashed. Soon we'll all be encaged by her soul so enraged. She may be unbeatable, but she isn't unbendable. Promise her love and care, for we were unfair. She was bred of a shell, not to live in hell. Thank you.
Mother Earth has been so kind, while we haven't really given back to her as much as we should. While we talk about the invincible human heart, thank you, Harshita, for showing us how this earth has too been undefeated through testing times. Coming up now is a promising young student from Pristine International School, Abu Dhabi, Akshita Khanna, a highly imaginative and compassionate young girl who writes spontaneously when her heart swells with an emotion. Through her poem, she inspires us with her powerful thoughts on the strength of the human spirit. Presenting to you Akshita Khanna from grade 11 with a poem titled The Virtue of the Humanity, Invincibility.
The virtue of humanity, invincibility. Invincibility is not fighting alone with swords or weapons. It is your ability to fight for others no matter who threatens. It is not regretting the past and living every moment of the present, which is fast. It is about being prepared for the future, which may or may not last. When we face a challenge, the only way out is to accept it, face it, but you must believe in the power within you, your invincible spirit. The spirit that can defy all odds, cross every stone, a graceful yet fierce possession that one must always own. The power of your spirit is like that single light ray which illuminates darkness and wipes away fear. It brings in eternal hope when you realize the dark tunnel is over and the opening is here. The spirit of fury, determination, strength, and a vision of dreams, which can take you through the toughest of deserts or the deepest of streams. This spirit has helped us battle the pandemic situation with the hope of light leading to success's destination, spreading the optimism of bravery and building a stronger society, rising with the spirit of hope which can bring back the connect of humanity. Before our invincible spirit, negativity kneels. It spreads the light of courage and wisdom and everything heals. even amidst the darkest night or the deepest gloom. The power of such a spirit can make a tiny little flower bloom. Walk with the spirit in your heart, and you will lead time, and success will also bow. The spirit by which even the coldest glaciers find ways to flow. With such a hopeful spirit, there is only sunlight and no shadow. Even the sunshine beneath the snow will have to come out and glow. Challenges await your path, but with that one step, you have to begin. Ignite the power within you. Keep moving and believe that you have to win. You are invincible, believe it or not. Every battle has been won only when one has fought. Thank you.
Thank you, Akshita. What an inspirational poem. We now have our next budding poet, Nandita Arun Kumar from grade 11, Scholars Indian School. The poem is titled Adornments Many. It is a beautifully written piece with seemingly opposing expressions merged to create a vivid poetic image with a strong message. Presenting Nandita Arun Kumar from Scholars Indian School.
My name is Nandita Arun and I'm 11th grader from Scholars Indian School, Russell Khema, and my poem is titled Adornments Many. Oh, how marvelously we slither on and on the many devastatingly attainable beauty that is only and always us. Scaling ladders beyond reach, but cherishing the ultimatum on top through the very course of the entire journey. But lo and behold, these very paths where flowers rise in all of them, glory where darkness comes creeping into. These paths which hold the very steps of the journey you have taken. 'Tis the most sacred of all, for the prints of yours have faded away, changeling as the one before. But we still gather all our might and thrust deeper and deeper into that solitary path which illuminates some more than others. Alas, but it grants some too, unknown misery creeping in through their blood and souls, scarring their very soul for aeons to come. Along the way, though, the prince brought into prominence by shadows tell us of a tale of a different era when trust was nectar and truth divine. These prints tell us of those who had gone up and above, lived to tell the solitary yet woeful tale of their tiniest of steps. Yet walking that path was never really the utopian journey. 'Tis always those footsteps of ours, always to be imprinted on that bare, rueful path. In all walks of life, the beauty, the joy of the walk, the misery, the hurt, always surpasses the path. Oh, now lo and behold, these wondrous footprints of those ruefully transient feet, destined to always walk the path. The steps of theirs engraved on that bare path for the rest of eternity. The steps echoing of for aeons to come. Thank you.
Beautiful poem, full of smiles and metaphors, and what brilliant recitation. Thank you, Nandita. Mahnoor Nadeem from grade 9 at the Oxford School is with us next with her poetry. Writing her thoughts into poetry, Mahnoor is sharing her composition, The Power Within. Her poem explores the theme of the strength of our own willpower to achieve our goals and dreams. Let's welcome Mahnoor.
I'm Mahnoor Nadeem from the Oxford School, Dubai, ninth grader. And the theme of the poem was Invincible Spirit. And my title of the poem was The Power Within. So, may I start?
Yes, please go ahead.
Those who are not defeated or do not fear, they who always have the will to do, overcome all the fears and tears. Their dreams, goals, hopes, make them supreme, and their love and hard work make them achieve it. No matter what obstacles come in their way, they stand still and firm. This power is from within. As they grow, it grows with them. So, attain the power to defeat by praying to who gives power to all. Never lose hope in Almighty and the power within. For whoever hopes strongly has within them the gift of miracles. They are those who are not defeated or do not fear. They who always have the will to do. They inspire us with their power within. Thank you.
Very well said, Mahnoor. I too believe that it truly takes courage to dream and courage to work towards that dream. Thank you. Our next student, Anna, is an optimistic, creative, and a kind-hearted young girl studying in grade 10. Her hobbies are listening to music, reading, writing poems, and playing the keyboard. Presenting Anna Abraham from New Indian Model School, Dubai, with her poem, The Invincible Spirit.
I am Anna Abraham, studying in 10th from New Indian Model School, Dubai. There's a lack of humanity in this world. Man has spread distrust and hatred among his own people like an epidemic. But it is the invincible spirit that connects the whole humanity. This leads me to write a poem pertaining to the importance of humanity in this era. And I would like to recite it before you, the poem titled Invincible Spirit Connecting Humanity. There's a great hope in a way to cope with each other like a brother. This spirit so bold and strong that anybody could get along through the difficulties with their capabilities. No one, not one of them, can stand against him, for he has always been the light's rays, shining out through the darkness as rough as a hard metal, sometimes soft as a flower's petal. He has always strengthened the weak minds and lengthened their joy inside that we can't hide. He is the one that connects the whole humanity and annexes the world a better place to live on the earth's face. Thank you.
There's great hope in a way to cope. So wonderfully put, Anna. Truly, when one determines to face challenging times, things mystically start to fall in place. Dr. Akash K.G. Auchi is an Indian hailing from Japan and director of SGI. Since 1975, he has been part of the Indian community. He did his Bachelor's of Architecture from Musashi Institute of Technology in Japan and completed his Master's of Rural and Urban Planning from Roorkee University in India. Later, in 1982, he did his PhD at Jawaharlal Nehru University. Dr. Auchi has been representing Dr. Daisaku Ikeda and has been narrating his poetry at the Poetic Heart since 2012. He will be sharing with us Dr. Daisaku Ikeda's poem titled Salute to the Smiling Faces of the 21st Century.
Dr. Daisaku Ikeda, born in Tokyo in 1928, is a leading peace activist and a prolific writer who has won over 100 works published to his credit. For his humanitarian endeavors in a range of fields, he has been conferred numerous awards, including the United Nations Peace Award. Dr. Ikeda's pursuit to promote peace through humanism over the past 60 years has been recognized worldwide, for which he has received over 300 academic honors, the highest award to a single individual.
I'm very happy to be in the occasion of the Poetic Heart, the 2021, the 10th version, and it has been long journey from the very beginning. Today, I am happy to recite the poem of Dr. Daisaku Ikeda. This poem was being made on the occasion of the visit of the students from the Bayer Elementary School from California. And they came to Japan and to meet him. And that was in the year 2001. Just the 21st century began. So the title of this poem is The Salute to the Smiling Faces of the 21st Century. Now, I like to begin the poem. Each of you is a most excellent scientist. Why is the sky blue? How does a magnet attract iron? Why did all dinosaurs die? What is it like at the edges of space? The mind that questions, that asks why and how. This is the very heart of science. A child looks up at the open sky, across which a condor leisurely, serenely wings its way, and wonders, how come you can fly like that? Yes, I also want to fly. This is a dream that lived in the heart of children for hundreds, for thousands of years. It was the power of this dream, the blue sky mirrored in your eyes, as you followed birds flying freely through the sky. Yes, the airplane was invented through the power of your dreams. Each of you is a born poet, spreading wide the wings of imagination toward the distant hills under a rainbow's arc. You wondered, what are the cities like beyond the horizon? What kind of people might be living there? Looking up at the endless night sky, you ask yourself, what shapes would form if I draw the lines between each of those sparkling gems like stars? Spinning across of threading tails across the eternal reaches of space and time. You prove again that you are all indeed true poets. Each of you is a brilliant philosopher. Why am I me? Couldn't I have been born you instead? How did I come to be born into this family? Why did I come from and where am I going? Gazing at yourself in the mirror, you secretly ponder the mystery of being. In your heart, you are always aware of this one great problem, which has troubled the world's deepest, most famous thinkers. More than anyone, you are true philosophers, a shining crystal held deeply in your heart. The perfect cleanness of your gaze surprises others. Remind them who they really are. The question in your innocent eyes will certainly shake the world from its sleep. And each of you is a citizen of the world, bringing people together. Neither the color of the person's skin, nor the color of their eyes, nor their nationality makes any difference to you. The one who's good at baseball and the one with the disability support and help one another. Smile at each other here in the world of children. What is the most precious of all treasures? It is nothing other than the life in each of you, the smile on every one of you. A lively, smiling face. This is the passport of a global citizen, making friends with the people everywhere. Each of you were born into this world carrying such a passport. Let us create a world, a time and century in which simply being human is reason enough to greet each other with a smile. Each of you will play a leading role in the 21st century. The mountain peaks of the courage, so high within your heart, a rainbow of hope shines bright within you, within each of us. Yes, within our lives is an infinite treasure waiting to be unlocked. Rise up, go forward, so that you may grasp the limitless treasure of the heart, so that you may become yourself who you most truly are. With a heart filled with the joy, I salute and respect you. Your bright faces are lit with the hopes and smiles of the 21st century. Your growth is the hope of all humanity, all people everywhere. And for that reason, I will do everything I can to protect and support you. Let us go forward together toward the rainbows of peace shining above the mountains of the new century. Hand in hand, let us walk, singing with the voices bright and clear, the songs of the hope resounding. August 24th, 2001.
Your words have always inspired us and make us redetermine that no matter what obstacles we face and how unprecedented these difficult times may be, our grit, our focus to constantly develop ourselves and continue to pursue helping others do the same is the key to finding absolute happiness and victory in our lives. We are highly grateful to you, Dr. Auchi, for sharing Dr. Ikeda's motivational poem with us. Poetry is self-sufficient. It is courageous and independent, but it needs a platform.
Yes, and we would like to thank our sponsors who've extended their support in giving poetry the platform it truly deserves. Our heartfelt gratitude to the pillars of support, our sponsors. Year on year, our exponential growth wouldn't have been possible without the gracious and generous support of our valuable sponsors, Emirates NBD, Amity University Dubai, Thompson Music Institute, Melody Makers, EIBFS, Tiffany, PepsiCo, Nestle, Almarai, Masafi, Barakat, Akhtiar Group, and Dubai International Academic City.
We now have Joelaine, a grade 11 student from Abu Dhabi Indian School, sharing his poem, Iron Spirit, with us. A lover of literature and poetry, Joelaine's poem explores the theme of the resilience of humankind to win over every setback with their invincible spirit. Presenting Joelaine Johan Prince from Abu Dhabi Indian School, Murur.
I am Joelaine Johan Prince from Abu Dhabi Indian School, Murur, and my poem is called Iron Spirit. Earth's heart wails, a tear-filled ocean. Her people toil without ceasing limit. What keeps the rod of mankind unbroken? The unyielding, lion-hearted spirit. Resolute he works despite trial, sweat trickling, pain in his veins. Cashing against him, the waves rile, yet iron-willed humanity remains. Life is not always so sweet. The book of life has chapters of woe, but never, never give in to defeat. Against a steel spirit, none can go. Man's path is an arduous tread, capped with obstacle and block, but in oneness we fight the looming dread. In firm spirit, hands clasped we walk. Though we face many afflictions, in positive mind, no one is downcast. In unity and strong conviction, through whatever, an invincible spirit ever lasts. Thank you.
With positive mind and strong conviction, through whatever, an invincible spirit ever lasts. I'm sure everyone resonates with your thoughts, Jolene. Thank you for the wonderful poem. Shwaswale Sadiq from grade 8, in her upcoming poem, very aptly describes the invincible spirit as the strength that lies within each human being. Presenting to you Shwaswale Sadiq with her poem titled The Strength of the Human Spirit from the Millennium School.
Hello, my name is Shua Swale Sadiq, and I'm studying in the Millennium School. The name of my poem is The Strength of the Human Spirit. I am as old as humanity itself. I have shared this world with you for aeons. I am with you in your hearts and minds and will always be until you're gone. I brought you together in love and empowered you in unity. I am the strength in your hardships and the resilience in humanity. In such uncertain times, when your hearts are filled with fear, brimming with uncertainty, when you lose your near and dear. Some of you risk your lives to help save the others. Everyone's playing their part in getting through this together. I will continue my work and put hope in your hearts. I will give strength to your souls as I have from the start. So many hardships we have faced, and every one we have survived. We've done it before, and we will do it again. With all our hearts, we will strive. Be it the bubonic plague or the Spanish flu, we bested the polio outbreak. We'll best COVID too. This is another obstacle that I will get you through. Another hardship, another challenge. Will emerge standing firm and true. I am the invincible spirit. I have pulled you through adversity. I am always by your side. I am the driving strength of humanity. Thank you.
A personification of the human spirit. Indeed, a poem by a storyteller. It was all heart, all hope. Beautifully written. Coming up next is Dhriti with a poem, The Invincible Spirit. And her poem truly reflects the spirit of the youth of today and her strong belief in remaining undefeated no matter what. Let's welcome Dhriti Chinmay Oza from the Apple International School in grade 10.
I'm Dhriti Chinmay Oza from the Apple International School, Dubai. I'm here to recite my poem, The Invincible Spirit. The Invincible Spirit. The one who is invincible, the one who is all too mighty to be defeated. All the power just comprised in one single spirit, the invincible spirit. It has the ability to do multiple things. Isn't that interesting? Ironic how the human spirit is so creditable and praiseworthy, and yet it is out of its knowledge to realize you are powerful. You are the invincible spirit. Thank you.
Ironic how the human spirit is so creditable and praiseworthy, and yet it is out of its knowledge to realize. We resonate with you, Dhriti. Thank you for your short yet super powerful poem. Up next, we have Sarah Zayed Qasim, a grade 7 student from Al Mawaqib School, Al Barsha. Her hobbies are writing and reciting Arabic poetry and playing the guitar. Merely 11 years old, Sarah has figured that one's country is the most beautiful poem in the universe. She believes that true love for the homeland does not need any reason or a moment because love for homeland is always true and very genuine. Let's hear Sarah Zayed Qasim studying at Al Mawaqib School with her poem titled Love for Homeland.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. اسمي سارة زيد قاسم. أنا في صف السابع. مدرستي مدرسة المواكب البرشا. هواياتي كتابة وإلقاء الشعر العربي الفصيح والعزف على آلة الجيتار. عمري 11 ربيعا. سبب كتابتي لقصيدة حب الوطن لأن الوطن هو أجمل قصيدة شعر في ديوان الكون. الوطن هو الاتجاهات الأربعة لكل من يطلب اتجاها، وحب الوطن لا يحتاج مساومة ولا يحتاج مزايدة ولا يحتاج لشعارات رنانة ولا يحتاج آلاف الكلمات، لأنه حب قوي وأصيل ولا يمكن شرخه أو كسره. والوطن هو القلب الذي يسكننا والروح التي تسري فينا والحب الذي يجري في عروقنا. تقول القصيدة: وطني من لي بغيرك معشوقا فاعشقه، من لي بغيرك محبوبا أشتاق له، حبي لك لا ينكسر على مر العمر ومهما قصى الدهر، حبك هو ذاك الحب الخالد، هو ذاك العشق الثالث، حب يخلو من الشوائب ولا تكسره النوائب. أنت سندي وجدار الزمن، أنت العزة والشموخ، أنت الوطن. وطني أرجو المعذرة إن خانتني حروفي، ولن تجديني قصائدي مهما استانت بالقوافي. أرجو العفو منك فلن أوفيك حقك حتى لو ازداد عمري عمرا، حتى ولو ازداد عمري عمرا.
Such love for one's watan is rare to find, Sarah. Your emotionally patriotic poem has stirred the soul. Thank you. An ever-smiling girl, Farha Reyas believes in being positive during these difficult times that we find ourselves in. Her poem too talks about being strong and grateful and going with the flow with a smile. As winter always turns to spring, a new day will definitely come and we can all start all over again. Presenting to you Little Miss Cheerful Farha Reyas, studying in grade 10 at the Sunrise English Private School.
I'm Farha Riyas of 10th grade from Sunrise English Private School, and I'm going to recite the poem Invincible Spirit Connecting Humanity. The world shut down so fast, over so little, left us reminiscing the past, shattered so brittle. Looking out the windows, mourning over sudden loss, some left as widows, lives left reeling at a pause. Wouldn't it be ungrateful to the million that bid farewell if I were to be spiteful and call staying home hell? A silver lining is too negligible
compared to the vast rainy cloud. So we breathe words barely eligible, whispers of reassurance ring out loud. Gloved hands find their way to each other, a world tethered through laptop screens. As long as we have one another, we echo to ourselves, praying not even silence intervenes. White coats and stethoscopes, a hero's attire, scrambling around in hopes that the graph doesn't climb higher. When it all went downhill, remember that we still stood strong. We learned skill after skill, wrote words full of love, and sang songs. We made new dishes, watched movies, made art, while still holding on to our wishes that this will all be over, and then again we start. Thank you.
Thank you for having us count our blessings instead of cribbing about this year gone by, Farha. Music is the ocean that pulls me to the shore. Music is the rhythm that moves me to the core. Music is the therapy I need when I feel blue. Music lifts my spirits to make sure I pull through. The times when I'm most cheerful, it's clear music was there. Music is the needed friend when no one seems to care.
I couldn't agree more. Who wrote these lines?
The amazing Brianna T. Perkins.
Awesome! Well, we have already spoken about the cohesion and unity in diversity that music can create. There is clinical evidence to show that music is great for reducing stress and does wonders with improving our general well-being. So, let's indulge in some music therapy with a scintillating performance by Mr. Kamal Musallam and Sonoz Sotoudeh.
Kamal Musallam is a Jordanian born in Kuwait from very artistic parents. Kamal showed unique talents for drawing and playing music from the early age of 3. Holding a Bachelor of Architecture and a Master's in Design Management after 3 years of work as architect, Kamal left this industry to start his career in the music industry. He has been a voting member of the Recording Academy, the Grammys, since 2008. At present, he is settled in Dubai, active as performer and producer under his own label, KNG. His main active bands are Kamal Musallam Group, Kamal Musallam Trio, and East Mania. Musallam is presently playing as a new hybrid of the guitar, an oud called the multi-oud, created by Godam, and he has developed with Ibanez guitars. Signature designs of the quarter fretted oriental guitar models.
Joining him is a versatile pianist in both solo and collaborative repertoire. Sonoz Sotoudeh has been performing and collaborating with well-known musicians, artists, and orchestras around the world. She has completed both her bachelor's in music and master's in music in solo piano performance. Sonoz is currently based in Vancouver and works as a collaborative pianist at the Schulich School of Music. She has been hailed by industry critics as a pianist who combines confidence with astute pianism in all her work. We are proud to present to you the world-renowned pianist Sonoz Sotoudeh and the virtuoso Kamal Musallam. Thank you, Mr. Musallam and Ms. Sotoday, for this magical performance. It has been an honor to witness such a genius creation of melodies and art. Coming up next is Angel from the Far Eastern Private School, reciting her poem, Together We Are Invincible. A grade 9 student, Angel holds a special interest in mythology, history, and poetry, and has been writing from a very young age. An active member of the English club at school, Angel has expressed her gratitude for the opportunity to recite her poetry today, and we are very grateful to have her here, presenting Angel Jafar from Far Eastern Private School.
We are invincible, a force to be reckoned, a mighty blade ready to pierce the wrongs of the world, an arrow in the sky striking the moon and its rocks. We are cataclysm, destined to bond to be beautiful, destined to reach the farthest stars and see unknown galaxies. But not always will we be strong. In the midst of the endless cycle of days, we'll toss and turn at night, shedding precious pearls and eerie mutters. Though we must remember that together we are stronger, we are empowered, we are invincible. Soon, a meteor will strike, hitting our hopes and dreams, crushing the galaxies we were destined to see, shattering the farthest stars we were supposed to reach. And when that meteor strikes and hit all these things, I know we will all collide and work together, forming an alliance of galaxies and serenity, fighting for freedom and life, being the light in the darkness, the sun in the sky, and the farthest stars we could ever reach. We are all of these. We are the hope, the galaxies, and the stars. Together, we are invincible.
Thank you, Angel, for that invincible spirit and poetry. Our next student poet is Hind Al-Khalaf, who is a strong girl and a multi-talented one. Hind creates artistic shoe wear by painting her fairy ideas on sneakers. A business owner at such a young age, Hind says that she has seen many difficulties in life that have made her a stronger person today. Her love for poetry grew over the years, and she believes that words can describe so many emotions that the world can't see with their eyes. Presenting Hind Al-Khalaf, studying in grade 12 at Al-Mawaqib School, Garhood.
Hello, my name is Hind Al-Khalaf. I'm from Al-Mawaqib School, Garhood. And today I'm going to be presenting a poem that will soon be seek under your heart, and you will take it in as much as I do. أمي لنغير الحكاية. أمي هل تسمعينني؟ أرجوك أجيبيني، أحتاج إليك، ساعديني. صوت القنابل في كل مكان، لقد فقدت الرؤية من كثرة الدخان. أمي هل تسمعينني؟ أحتاج إليك، ساعديني. كل طفل في هذا العالم لديه حكايته، من الشرق إلى الغرب ثمة بشر أطفال لا أصوات لهم، يموتون خوفا، يموتون وأحلامهم محبوسة. هم ربما لا يحلمون بالمال كما يظن الآخرون، هم يحلمون بحلم الحياة، بحياة لا تنكيل ولا عذاب. يحلمون ألا يناموا والخوف لهم غطاء، يحلمون ألا يبقى الموت يطاردهم، يحلمون ألا تعمي النيران أعينهم. أليسوا أطفال المستقبل هم؟ أليس المستقبل بأيديهم؟ فلما نفرط عليهم ولا نحميهم؟ أمي هل تسمعينني؟ أرجوك ساعديني، أحتاج إليك. أصبح العالم مظلما، أصبح العالم مظلما، وانتشر الصمت. فلما لا نغير الحكاية فلما لا نغير الحكاية حتى تحيا ورود قلوبنا فتبقى ولا تموت. Thank you. شكرا.
Your powerful poetry gave us goosebumps, Hind. A child's fear and confusion while speaking to his mother about the devastations and bombings around him is capable of evoking fortitude in any heart, regardless of where we hail from. Thank you so much for sharing with us this beautiful piece of work. Our next young poet is Mariam. Her poems explore hidden depths of powerful emotions like love, joy, sorrow, and her collection of poems include creative takes on topics like mental health, nature, and different aspects of society. Today, Mariam will take us through a surrealistic understanding of a rainstorm. Presenting Mariam Abrar Vaid from Grade 10, Dubai Scholars Private School.
You were born to be a rainstorm, to hide the darkness with your light, to show your presence with the boom of thunder, to send your voice throughout the night. You were born to show beauty that was raw, to wash the dirt from their eyes. But the whole world ran for the hills when you opened up your skies. So you forced your thunder to be silent and learned to bite your rainy tongue. They finally got what they thought they wanted. You gave them life with endless sun. As they saw their minds growing weaker and their hearts becoming dry, they wished they hadn't taken for granted your rainy presence in the sky. You were born to be a rainstorm, to be strong and be bold, to show the world that even after everything, your thunder and rain was still uncontrolled. So when you think you're unimportant, know that life without you wouldn't be the same, because nothing in the world would grow if it wasn't doused with rain. Thank you.
What power and fortitude! Your analogy of rain has truly got us thinking, Mariam. Thank you. Next, we have Biji Sara Binu, a first-year civil engineering student from Manipal Academy of Higher Education. Her love for creating and constructing new things is artistically expressed through her poetry that has won her many accolades in the past. For the Poetic Heart, she has composed a poem on reconnecting with her inner voice, that is, our invincible soul. Let's welcome Biji Sara Binu with her poem, The Invincible Spirit.
The Invincible Soul by Biji Sara Binu. When the whole world paused and the nations were sealed, I found a man who still smiled at the show. When the whole world cried, for we are locked in our cages, I found a man who said it was all fine. When the whole world cried, our riches and glory are in vain, I found a man who said they doesn't matter anymore. When the whole world cried, the earth can't move on without us, I found a man who said, we live by mercy and we are not a necessity. When the whole world cried, the land is too quiet, I found a man who said, listen carefully, you will hear lullabies of love. When the whole world cried, we are all alone, I found a man who said, look around, there are people beside. When the whole world cried, the land. Oh my god, can you just cut this? Can I try once more?
What you can do is you can start from the line before that and just, yeah.
Okay. Okay, wait. When the whole world cried, we are all alone, I found a man who said, look around, there are people beside. When the whole world cried, we have nothing to do this time, I found a man who said, but we still have time to find yourself, to know yourself, to be yourself, and to love yourself. And the whole world cried, who is this lame man? He smiled and said, I call myself your invincible soul. Who was unheard in this busy world? No one cared about me, no one talked with me, no one had time for me. That mankind had left me behind while chasing mortal possessions. No one heard me when I said, life is not a competitive race, but a beautiful journey. No one heard me when I pleaded, nature is my lover, don't crucify her. The land was crowded and noised by rushing motors and flaming industries, and my voice always remained unheard. But at this moment, when the world had paused, darkness was cast out by my overwhelming soul. I am no more bonded. People could hear me, and I'm no more alone. Time had proven that men were behind permanent positions in their temporary life, and the whole world cried, for they realized they were wrong. But I found a man who said, "Nothing is gone. Break the barriers of hatred and wickedness. There is a bright new world behind the walls." Again, the whole world cried, "Who is this wise man?" And he simply replied, "I call myself your invincible soul." Thank you.
There's a bright new world behind these walls. Thank you for your inspiring words, Biji. From GEMS Heritage School, we have DeLorean Cohen with her poem, The Invincible Spirit. Through her poem, she pledges to mankind to keep striving towards peace and love. Presenting to you, DeLorean, student of grade 10 from the GEMS Heritage School.
My name is DeLorean Cowan. I study in GEMS Heritage Indian School, and the name of my poem is The Invincible Spirit. Since the inception of the human race, responsible is man for the atrocity he showers at pace of many a crime and a big disgrace. Oh, the scars of prejudice and burning animosity, discernible on every black man's face, ambiguity. Why then the color of your skin or ethnicity should encompass social, economic, and political vicinity? Why don't we work towards doing greater charity and serve the greater cause of reaching all humanity? Justice for all had proved to be an elusive goal, a treacherous blow to every bereaved soul. Why then we have every cause to hate each other and not one good reason to love one another? Where hatred thrives, peace is certainly precarious. Injustice will arouse indignation, and that's obvious. My plea to mankind is to reach out to every limit and kindle in our hearts love and the invincible spirit. This invincible spirit, imperative for our living, connecting us together for selfless committing. We pledge together to keep striving for tireless perfection, which will keep us driving. Thank you.
We pledge together to keep striving for tireless perfection, which will keep us driving. Your ability to pen down your lofty thoughts will definitely take you a long way, DeLorean. Kudos on presenting such an inspiring work of art. Our next performance of the day is by Amara Dorothy, a young 21-year-old Filipina lyricist. While being focused on gaining a solid educational foundation from her college, Amara loves to hone her interests in dance, music, and video editing through her co-founded art brand, Amchi. Give it up for Amara.
Magandang araw sa inyong lahat. I am Amara Tan and I am from the Philippines. Currently, I am taking my business course online in SP Jain School of Global Management. Today, I'm really thrilled to be able to participate again in this year's Poetic Heart, Invincible Spirit. And that is why today, the song that I chose speaks about how we humans are fighters despite the situation we are all in. And that because we have each other, we find the strength and the courage to rise up together.
You're broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round, and you can find the fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out and move mountains. We gon' walk walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up, rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, high like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. When the silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe, and I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet and move mountains, bring it to its feet and move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I will rise 1,000 times again. And we'll rise up, high like the waves. You'll rise up, in spite of the ache. We'll rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you.
Thank you, Amara. You have a great future ahead of you.
May we now request Miss Anishka, on behalf of SGI Gulf, to convey a vote of thanks.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and our viewers from across the globe. What a fantastic event this has been. We continue to be overwhelmed and humbled by the growing response to Poetic Heart. Tonight's event is a clear testimony to the collaboration of hearts and minds, working together towards a common purpose of a peaceful and happy society. This year, much like the world around us, we have had to adapt and change to our environment. Putting together the digital format of the 10th edition of the Poetic Heart has taught us that in order to keep moving forward, we need to have an invincible spirit and to never shy away from a challenge. The inspiring performances by all our participants, budding and experienced poets, musicians, and performers have helped shine a bright light on this very spirit. And for that, we at SGI Gulf are immensely grateful. The continuous success of this event highlights that no language or divisive proponent can disrupt a heart-to-heart connect. On behalf of SGI Gulf, I extend my thanks to everyone that has been on this poetic journey with us, especially our valuable sponsors, Emirates NBD and Amity University, without whose contribution this event would not have been a reality. Last but not the least, our deep gratitude to the scores of volunteers who have tirelessly worked behind the scenes for months, taking every precaution to bring to you this year's event. We hope to continue to receive your support in the years to come, further expanding our reach and bringing our voices of hope and peace to the world. Thank you all, and see you again next year at Poetic Heart Connecting Humanity 2022.
Thank you, Anishka. As we draw the curtains on this wonderful evening, we surely feel a gush of excitement, happiness, and honor on being a part of this prestigious annual Poetry Symposium, the 10th edition of the Poetic Heart. Our heartfelt gratitude and a huge round of applause to all those working seamlessly behind the scenes.
Thank you for your time and hope you enjoyed the evening. See you next year.